So when you think of art, there's probably a good chance you think of some paintings, Mona Lisa, The Last Supper, maybe The Great Wave Off. But back in 2012, this new thing started popping up in the cryptocurrency world called NFTs. The original project, Colored Coins, was basically just, a super complicated version of what we have now. But regardless, this industry has become massive, to the point where a single piece of art sold for $90 million. Let's talk about it. Alright, so before we talk about the $93 million NFT, we gotta go over some basic information about the NFT space. NFT is short for non-fungible token, and basically, Bitcoin and most cryptos that start in that little realm are fungible. You can take a Bitcoin and trade it for another Bitcoin the same way that, you can take $100 and change it for five $20 bills. That's fungibility. Now, non-fungible would be compared to something that is one of a kind. A rare trading card, a piece of something from history, something that you wouldn't be able to trade for the exact same version of something else, right? You can't trade a one-of-a-kind baseball card for the exact same one-of-a-kind baseball card because there's only one of those items. So basically, an NFT is a JPEG that is one of a kind. You can never, trade it for five smaller versions of the same picture. It's similar to a trading card. And obviously, whenever somebody hears the words unique and one of a kind, they start to associate it with something being rare, and being rare tends to ascribe value in the modern world. The first NFT, the way that we know it, actually came about in May of 2014. There was this guy, Kevin McCoy, who ended up creating this piece of artwork called Quantum. It's on your screen now, it looks pretty cool, it's pretty nice. It was moving around looking all fly. And this is the first, real NFT that I think a lot of people have been able to track down. As I said, it was made in May 3rd, 2014. But as of November 28th, 2021, it ended up being sold for $1.4 million at the Sotheby auction. And while obviously it's cool that this was created in 2014, there's obviously a pretty big space in time between the first NFT being created and it becoming the absolutely massive, multi-billion-dollar market it is now. So from 2014 to now, NFTs have obviously been developing and changing, and one of the major changes that ended up coming about for NFTs took place in late 2015, early 2016. That was when the Ethereum blockchain ended up getting a NFT put on it for the first time. Two individuals by the name of John Watkinson and Matt Hall ended up making a project on Ethereum that was NFT-based, or non-fungible tokens. This project would come to be known as CryptoPunks. For those of you that don't know what it is, it's basically like the granddaddy of NFTs of today. And this little project that was started on Ethereum that you're seeing on your screen now has a serious value attached to it. Like the biggest NFT sale of all time, $530 million for these things. So obviously the Ethereum blockchain was a big upgrade for NFTs as a whole. Just made it a lot easier to trade back and forth, have a currency to peg the value to. And it was something that was developed on the blockchain, so Ethereum also kind of liked the fact that NFTs were getting involved. Now, as for me personally, I'm not a big fan of investing in NFTs. I believe in cryptocurrency. I just feel like there's a bit of a bubble. That's just my personal opinion. That being said, my personal opinion obviously is not the opinion of a lot of people, considering how much money people are paying for NFTs. A lot of the value that NFTs have come from the idea that, an NFT is not replaceable, it's not replicable, it's literally one of a kind. Basically, the entire NFT market is based upon the idea that you buy an NFT now, the rarity and scarcity of that object continues to, gain this mythical quality to it, so someone is willing to pay more than you just did for that NFT. And the value that some of these NFTs starting to have is absolutely nuts. We talked about 1.4 million, we talked about 530 million. Obviously, those are nuts numbers, but it's not like those are the only two pieces of art from the NFT world selling for massive amounts. This piece of art that you see on screen right now was created by a man named Mike Winkelmann, who is a NFT artist you might have heard of from before called Beeple. And this NFT that is on your screen right now actually ended up selling for $69 million in March of 2021, which is, a pretty hefty chunk of change, just a couple bills in your pocket. And what's wild about this NFT to me is usually a lot of NFTs that sell for massive dollar amounts kind of have this run-up period where they're getting traded a lot, they're skyrocketing in value, so there's a lot of speculation involved. This $69 million NFT, though, actually only started with the bid beginning at $100. And what's nuts about that is somehow the bidding ran up from $100 to $69 million for this, non-fungible digital token. And what this really showcases is just how unpredictable the entire space can be. I'm not hating Beeple, good for him. If I could sell my digital art for $69 million, trust me, I would. And that being said, we're talking about a situation where something went from $100 to $69 million in the span of just one auction. That type of volatility, if you got in early is absolutely fantastic. Don't get it twisted. People are printing money in this NFT world, but getting involved in this on the idea that you're going to buy an NFT for $100 that is eventually going to be worth $69 million, I wouldn't necessarily say that that's extremely likely. I think a lot of people in this NFT space are just kind of having this idea that I'm just going to buy some stupid piece of art now and in 8 years it's going to be worth $37 million. And maybe it will. For a couple lucky people, that's definitely going to happen. But I've got a feeling that for every Beeple piece that sells for $69 million, there's a guy out there that minted an NFT for $17,000 that's never going to see that money again. And that's what's so crazy about this space. I feel like a lot of the success that comes from the NFT world is based more upon your connections, knowing good artists, knowing what projects are about to get massive promotion, and less about picking a very pretty piece of art. But this leads me to the title of the video, the picture you saw earlier, how an NFT ended up selling for $93 million. A little bit more than $69 million, even though that's way more meme. So this NFT that you see on your screen right now is simply known as The Merge. And the person who created this is an artist by the name of Pac. And Pac has been on the NFT wave for quite a long time, as far as it can be considered for somebody to be an NFT veteran, he's definitely on the list. In fact, the guy responsible for selling the $90 million NFT you just saw also is the person that was the first artist to ever make $1 million in the NFT marketplace, period. As for this specific piece, The Merge, it was released on a NFT marketplace called Nifty Gateway. And on this platform, the bid just ended up going absolutely bonkers. One thing that The Merge did different than a bunch of other NFTs is it didn't actually end up being purchased in the Ethereum NFT marketplace. Instead, they ended up paying for it in mass tokens that will be combined to create NFT collectibles following all the sales. But regardless, homie did end up cashing out about $90 million for the span of one NFT. Good for him cashing in. I'm never going to hate anyone for that. The one concern that I do have for the future market of NFTs is obviously just how long can these values continue to rise like they are. I'm not saying that they're not going to have some place in the future, all these companies hopping on the metaverse and talking about NFTs is a sign that they're not going to go the way of a dinosaur or anything, but just, as it currently stands, do I personally feel as if a lot of this art being sold for hundreds of millions of dollars is worth hundreds of millions? In my personal opinion, not advice at all, I don't think so. It's an interesting concept. I think it's a very cool idea. But unless there's a lot more mainstream adoption to NFTs, I just don't see how these values that they're currently at are sustainable. That being said, I am going to end this with a little bit more of an optimistic spin when it comes to mainstream adoption, just so you NFT fans have something good to walk away with. So as I was just saying, I think mainstream adoption, big companies getting involved is a big step in the right direction for the NFT world, and that's starting to happen. The NBA, one of the biggest sporting leagues in the world, and especially in America, has been releasing NFT packs that are available for purchase, so obviously that's a big step in adoption. GameStop is apparently going to be creating an NFT marketplace, and considering how much people loved that meme stock, it performed incredibly well considering everything when that news was announced, so people are taking it positively. But I think as more and more companies continue to see value in this marketplace and the metaverse continues to come, I could see more mainstream adoption. Personally, this is not financial advice or anything. If you're interested in NFTs, I might wait for this bubble to go and pop a little bit, but that's just my opinion. I'm not an expert at making NFTs. I'm not out here making $90 million selling my artwork, so clearly I'm missing something. That being said, guys, I just felt like making this video, but that's gonna do it. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of NFTs. If you like this, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that stuff. I post videos like this every day. If you really want to help me out, you can check out the intro song down below, along with the link to my podcast, The Scuffed Cast. Or you could use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout. Great way to get a discount on G Fuel. Help me out at the same time. I'd very much appreciate it. And yeah, on that note, that'll do it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. And hopefully I will see each and every single one of you guys next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.